There's a lot of motion blurs in there. Look at my weird blurry character. Doesn't even really make sense. You just go and my character just completely blurs. He should probably be the least blurry thing on the screen if we were re-enabling motion blur to some extent. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense, honestly. But I can turn it off. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah. The background still ends up blurring regardless, just because of how eyes process stuff. But my character doesn't bizarrely turn into a cloud every time I turn the camera, so it seems like an improvement. If ya ask me. Let's shoot guns. So would you like to shoot guns? I'd like to shoot guns.
Hello? Anybody shooting in here?
Agent Thornton. Hello.
Hey. Hey, you're the one I spoke to when I woke up in the medical bay. Glad that wasn't a hallucination.
It may have been. Do you remember my name? Or do I need to write it down for you?
Mina, right?
That's right. Good to see you've recovered from the medical room with your memory intact.
Memory intact? Speaking of which, I don't remember where I left my keys or my passport.
Confiscating personal items is quite routine. I wouldn't worry about that. But let's get down to the task at hand. I'm here to run you through the weapons training and test your accuracy.
All right, what's the next step?
Just head through the door to the firing range, and I'll keep in contact with you over the earpiece. Head over to the table, get your weapons, and we can begin.
Hello?
The standard field agent package includes a pistol, SMG, shotgun, and assault rifle. Each has its strengths and weaknesses.
Absolutely no horseplay. If you're a horse, don't you dare come around here enjoying yourself.
Then aim down range and take some shots at the target.
They specifically train you, I think, not to aim for heads
Steady your aim for
in real life, because it doesn't make sense.
Fire. Precision shots can take down a target quickly.
Look how many extra shots I have. Didn't I just have one row originally?
Almost.
Phew.
Almost.
We have to wait for the second thing. Okay.
Now, let's move on to the submachine gun.
That's more of like a stealth attack slash sniping attack. Otherwise, don't got time for that.
Now let's empty the clip. Let you get a feel for the recoil.
All right. Oh my god, the bullets, they go everywhere. Is this a machine gun or a shotgun?
Now take cover. Still using cover, take some shots at the target. Accuracy's terrible when firing blind, but it can get the job done, eventually. Now try popping out and focusing your aim. You can use cover to your advantage here.
You say it's terrible, but I feel like the accuracy didn't get any worse. I was waiting to see if it would zoom at all.
To the tactical range on your right.
It does not.
Let's see how you do against some moving targets. Now, with the pistol, you'll want to be patient and attack when targets get close. Good.
Was that all of them? Now I'm the moving one.
Now for the shotgun.
Yes. Thank you. Finally.
Holding the trigger steady and firing can knock down even heavily armored targets.
Ooh. That's what we've heard about from my ability. The big takedown attack.
Good. Next. Now for your submachine guns. If you're trapped in close quarters with multiple opponents, the SMGs can help clear the room quickly. Not subtle or quiet, but...
Are there ever going to be guns that are subtle or quiet?
And that's enough.
I'm not really sure if I'm convinced about that. They all seem to be very loud. Maybe you get a silenced pistol eventually? I don't really expect to find a silenced shotgun.
For long-range encounters, the assault rifle's the key.
Here we
It's
go.
accurate, powerful. Just be sure to line up your shots carefully. Watch
Not gonna
for
lie.
attacks from above. They may be out of reach, but not rifle range.
Not gonna lie, I forgot there was another category coming.
That's it. Take the ladder, head up and back. All done.
I feel like the existence of SMGs and pistols often edges out the reason for... the existence of assault rifles and pistols often edges out the need for SMGs to exist. There you go.
Good, Mike. I'm logging the results now.
Alright. Is somebody out on the course?
Darcy. He's trying to beat your time.
Well, how's he doing?
Not well. He's distracted.
Why?
As soon as he knew you were talking to me, Mike, he was in here in a second, in case he saw you as a challenge for my affections. It's like a cage match with you boys.
Am I? A challenge, I mean.
If you have to ask, Thornton, then there's your answer. All right, let's see here.
He immediately came in to go after it. Oh god. You lose a point for every time you missed, which is a lot with some of those guns. God, that was about 50% misses. One crit apparently. No multi-shots. Not great. I'm not really trained with guns. So Darcy just continually sucks apparently.
It'll do. Satisfactory enough for Westridge, I think. You can give it another run if you want. The course should be free.
I'll pass.
Very well. I'll log your score. I'll have the results sent to your handler, and Westridge can give the rest of your evaluation, provided you've completed the other tests.
An evaluation that's apparently entirely optional in its own right. Stealth time?
This is a restricted area. The vending machines are down the hall and to the right.
I'm here for espionage training.
Westridge's new recruit. Good. There's no time to waste. So, orientation. You are familiar with the premise of an obstacle course, I assume?
Yes.
Excellent. And I don't need to explain. Up the ladder is the training area. The first test is navigating through the environment without being detected. Following that, you'll be facing live challenges against the agents here.
Anything else I should know about running this course?
Yes. I suggest you do it quickly. And talking gives your position away.
What's the deal with the security panel?
It secures the entrance. If you're as capable as Westridge says, then you should have no trouble hacking it and gaining access to the course. Clock's ticking.
Great.
Hacking how? What am I using? My character just kind of hacks, like with his hands. He just walks up to things like, I will now hack it. Haha.
In front of you to gain access to the course.
Like a magic boy. Ah, fuck. Oh, it's right there. Shit.
Always check your surroundings for cameras. We can't have you appearing on the nightly news.
But wouldn't that be fun? That's not hackable.
Mind
Or-
the gap.
Whoa.
The key to stealth is timing. Pay attention to camera movements, then exploit their blind spots.
Another camera. Can I jump over this? Why can't I jump over this? So you can climb over those, but you can't climb over chest-high walls. That's impossible. What? I didn't know he was there. He just fucking showed up. Whoop. Use the zipline to slide down into areas pressing A. Oh, here.
Taking in the view. I've unlocked the security door. I doubt the view is with control room for evacuation.
There was just a surprise dude. Oh, hello.
Your score is based on several factors. Sorting the numbers now.
Ah. 2 alarm detections, -7. I got a high score though. I went pretty fast, it looks like. That guy just fucking... I came in the room and poof, instantly. Gotta keep an eye out better, I guess. Disabled all guards was an option, but so was being undetected entirely.
Very good. Above average performance for a trainee. Okay. You want to run it again?
No, I don't think so.
Very well, I'll log the results. Westridge can complete your evaluation once you finish the other tests.
Anything else you could share that might help me out? I feel like I've already got the basics down.
Was there anything else?
What do you actually do here?
My primary role is intelligence analysis, but at times I serve as a handler during sensitive missions.
So you've been on a lot of Alpha Protocol ops.
Key ones, yes. I was involved in the events leading up to your assignment, in fact.
How?
I took on the role of a contractor, an accountant. Money is one of the easiest ways to track events. It often leaves the best fingerprints.
So you're a spy?
I'm an observer. I rarely take action. But the smallest event, if analyzed incorrectly or acted on improperly, could have great repercussions. And that's where I come in. To interpret events.
Like butterfly wings sparking a tornado? That kind of thing?
Spare me the butterfly cliché. Guerrilla actions, nuclear tests, exposing a corrupt politician, a rise in grain prices, and... yes, the downing of an airliner in the Middle East. All of these things have the potential to create larger catastrophes.
Okay.
Controlling the repercussions of these events, getting agents the information they need to put fires out before they rage out of control, that is my job.
So when I'm in the field, my orders come from you or another analyst. My job is what? To listen?
Yes, it's a numbers game. But decisions must be made quickly. If the decisions are solely reactive or passive, well, then you operate at a disadvantage.
So sometimes you create events.
For political equilibrium, yes, at times. At other times, to give America an economic advantage.
I thought we were mostly mission-driven.
We are. But even you will see the effect that even seemingly minor interactions have on the structure of a mission. Carry the logic one step up, and it shouldn't be hard for you to grasp.
You like working here?
My responsibilities don't account for that, nor should they.
You know, I actually thought you were the janitor when I arrived.
That would either be an insult or an excellent deduction. I'm guessing the former.
I was actually just trying to make conversation. But why would that be an excellent deduction?
Because, Agent, Alpha Protocol can only maintain plausible deniability as long as no one knows we exist. That means continually cleaning and scouring data, masking our communication lines, and protecting our global positioning.
All right, I was just asking, no harm meant. I even take back the janitor comment.
The title fits, and apologies are necessary and unwarranted. So, in short, yes, I clean up after others, and if necessary, I'm the one tasked with shutting this program down.
Shutting it down?
Turning off the lights, putting up the chairs, locking the door.
What does that mean exactly?
This place cannot be found. If Alpha Protocol is compromised, any evidence of the program must be deleted.
But what happens to the... I mean, is there an escape route, or what happens?
What do you mean, Agent? Be specific. I dislike dancing around an issue if one exists.
What happens to the people?
Expendable.
Are you serious? You are serious. You sound like you've done this before.
If I have, it's classified. Or perhaps I'm joking. Are we done here, Agent? I think I've answered all your questions.
Some of them, yeah. The others can wait.
Okay, that guy's a lot to unpack, isn't he? Also, that was a lot of dialogue. I'm suddenly suspicious that I have a lot more I can say with the other characters or something. So I might try that in a minute here. The If this place is compromised, the entire operation and all of its people are expendable. Definitely got hit in the face a little bit by how rough it can be to have the dialogue not reflect what you think you're picking. Nope.
I'll pass.
Very well. I'll log your score. I'll have the results sent to your handler, and Westridge can give the rest of your evaluation, provided you've completed the other tests.
Nope. That's all the dialogue they've got. So that character, that guy, he's just a lot. a lot. There's a few instances of the dialogue of just being like, what? Like, the tone is unexpected sometimes, and it's interesting because, like, you don't have that much in the form of dialogue options right now. Like, I think you have major choices to make during missions and whatnot, but I think you mostly just kind of have conversations happen at you. Which, admittedly, a lot of RPGs already work that way. It's just this one kind of dropped the pretense and just lets the conversation flow, and you just pick a tone for it. I'll probably be a huge dick if I get a second playthrough. And just keep picking the aggressive option and stuff like that. But even then, despite having the choices just being about tone, sometimes it can feel like you have a surprising lack of it. Like, what do you actually do here? It was like that. Damn, you put some stank on that. Like, I was just kind of flowing with it. There's also one point where, like, I guess the dialogue, the countdown timer is based entirely around how much the other person talks, and at one point he said like 5 words, so the dialogue choice was selected for me incredibly quickly, like before I really had time to even process my options and figure out what to do, so that can be a little rough. Customize. Yep, it's just those items. You cannot yeah, I didn't really want to, yeah. You can't change their clothes or anything like that. Yeah, at this point we're used to him look like this, I think. I didn't like how he just looked too much like default Commander Shepard at first.
You guys must have spent a fortune on the TVs in this place.
You all done?
You tell me.
Now you're learning. I have to admit I was worried whether we'd be able to keep you here after you woke up in medical. You gave our staff a run for its money.
I gave it my best, and so did they.
Fair enough. It'll be a good excuse to up the morning drills around here. Looks like you did well on the tech portion of the test. Very well. Past Darcy's bitching, there's some real compliments in here if you look at the numbers. Mina's report says you might need more practice on the gun range, but you're probably still shaking off the drugs we gave you.
I'm still brushing up on my skills. Mina's a good teacher. I just need to be a better student.
She is a good teacher. She has a good eye for potential. I'll let her know your thoughts. And here's a surprise, a positive evaluation from Parker. On the number side as usual. But he actually took the time to write a sentence.
He did? What was the sentence?
You may have been right about this one, Westridge. For Parker, that's high praise, assuming you don't let us down, Mike. Looks like that's it for the physical evaluation. Now for the hard part. Tell me why you're here. Not everyone gets chosen for this line of work, but you volunteered. Usually we have to ask.
I want to serve my country.
And you think by being assigned here is the best way to do that?
Give me a mission and I'll prove it.
What makes you think you're ready? Because I tell you, we get a lot of recruits in here, and you're not convincing me.
My opinion isn't important. Yours is.
Not out in the field, and not when you're dealing directly with others. Then your opinion is all that counts. Beyond the guns, tech, and sneaking around in the dark, there's one last part of this job that nobody else here quite gets.
I'm listening.
Good, because listening is a large part of it. The way you talk to people, your attitude. That's what we're going to discuss now.
I'm not sure I understand. Is there something wrong with how I deal with people?
No, believe it or not, you're not here because you're a people person. You're here because your psych profile says you're skilled at manipulating others.
Was that a compliment?
You'll see. The way you project yourself definitely affects what people think of you, and your reputation with them.
And if I want to impress them?
You don't always want to or need to. Having a good or bad rep with someone can actually gain you different benefits. Sometimes you want to piss someone off so they can't think straight. Other times you want to build a strong rapport with someone and talk your way out of a bad situation. All depends on your objective. This goes for your handlers as well. We're going to be sending you into a lot of dangerous places, and your only backup is going to be who you're talking to on your headset. How you treat them is going to have an effect on the success of your mission.
So if I piss them off, I'm screwed?
No. A handler that likes you too much and puts emotions before the mission can be just as dangerous as one who resents you.
This is a long way of telling me that I should just act the way I want? And if I compromise an asset in the field by choosing the wrong path?
No, again, there are no bad choices, just results. Over time, folks may hear about you and your attitude before they meet you. They may have a preconceived notion of how you're going to treat them, which can affect their reaction.
Well, maybe they should take the time to know the real me.
If only. Time's something no one seems to be able to spare, especially during a conversation. Although that can be a plus.
What, like stalling for time?
The clock doesn't stop when you're speaking to someone. So if you need to get your second win before a fight, making small talk can buy you time.
But if I'm running on adrenaline, won't chatting take me off my guard?
It can. So if you need to get to the point, act instead of fight. For example, if you don't think I have any more to teach you, then you could just say, I'm done with this. I wouldn't think any less of you. You seem to have the basics down.
Well, I prefer action, but why would I be talking to them if I need to shoot them? Seems like a bullet might be the best opener.
Sometimes it is better if you shoot first. Still, approaching someone to talk to them can allow you to get the drop on them if you get close enough to strike. Use it if you have to, if the conversation isn't going your way. Assuming there's even a way you want the conversation to go.
So how do I know how someone wants to be treated? At least enough to cooperate.
If that's what you want to do, pay attention to the clues in your environment. Sometimes people will have advice, and intel can help. But there's another way. Read much?
Mostly tech user manuals. Then I rewrite them.
There's a host of information out there through dossiers, email, and other documents that represent total research others have collected on a target, organization, or operation.
And what does that get me, exactly?
Sometimes you'll spot obvious triggers. People who don't respond well to smartasses, like me. Others who respect loyalty, duty, a professional approach. Others who don't have time for bullshit, and like it when you get to the point. But dossiers just don't contain psych information. They'll usually have combat information on your target as well. What side they favor, any past injuries, common weapons or tactics they use. Some of it blunt, some of it subtle. But if push comes to shove, it can give you an edge in combat. The more you've done your homework, the more vulnerable they'll be.
So when the guns come out, the dossier can come into play. Have you read mine?
Several times.
You have dossiers on everyone here?
Yep, if you can dig them up. You might learn a few things. Sometimes reading a dossier will give you more options when dealing with others. A few facts to bring up, to shake secrets loose.
What about you?
You should already know what makes me happy, Mike, and what pisses me off.
How do I know when I have the go-ahead to start accessing files?
After meeting a target or hearing their name referenced by someone else, you should have a target ID. Then hop onto the database and start doing your homework. You can usually unlock their basic information at that point. Let's start with a simple one. Al-Samad. That should be familiar to you.
The terrorist group.
Yes, you can research groups as well as people. It doesn't carry the same benefits, but it can provide useful intel in the field. Talking to people about others is a good way to help gain dossier information. Sometimes people will have information on someone that can unlock a brand new thread in your computer search.
Okay, so I've suffered through your interrogation and know how to give one if need be. Am I ready or not?
We'll see. Meet me in the command center, and I can give you a proper mission briefing.
Good, because I'm sick of this room.
Trust me, Mike. If it was up to me, you'd never see this interrogation cell again.
Wow, Mike really changes tone on the fly when I don't have control of him. He's just continually a dick. He seems in character, though.
Recognize him?
That's Sheikh Ali Shahid, the voice of Al-Samad. They say he was responsible for shooting down that airliner in the Middle East. Word around the agency is a prototype missile shot down that airliner. Had a multi-stage targeting system called Jacob's Ladder. Halbeck's had the system in development for years. I didn't know they'd finished it. That's cutting-edge tech for a missile.
Missiles. He's got more. He stole them from Halbeck, and we need them back before he gets any more trigger-happy. Then we want you to kill him.
Understood, but if the opportunity presents itself, should I take him alive?
If you can. Either way, we want him out of the picture, and away from any more taped broadcasts.
If I can bring him back here, I will.
All right, then, pack your gear. You're heading to Saudi Arabia.
Not coming with me?
I'll be there in spirit, and on video and radio when needed, Agent.
And I just got here. Oh, well, I'm gonna miss this place.
I doubt it. I'll contact you when you reach Saudi Arabia.
That's a cool little transition screen. Completed every single objective, made some money, got some XP and all that. Things are going all right. Oop. A lot of background there. Okay, so there's a few weird, cool things going on. Like, it kind of reminds me of Deus Ex Human Revolution, just in terms of like, oh wow, conversations have a weird number of systems going on. Because that game had its like whole tense, weird interrogation system where you were trying to get into people's heads and get what you wanted and negotiate with hostage situations and so on, and they were like tense and multi-tiered conversations with like mechanical implementations and things that are just neat about them. And this one has the weird stuff of like, you can push people one way or another potentially if you can get in their head and know what kind of things to pick to get in their favor. I think that was happening over the course of this. I was picking suave options at first, but got a negative strike with the leader, so I specifically pivoted towards professional with him and with Mina and with the creepy murder hobo old man janitor. But with sleazy douchebag guy, I stuck with the suave options again, and like you get different bonuses with different people. And hell, being professional with the leader still got points with Mina. So like you get points with characters who aren't even in the scene based on how you're talking about them or interacting with things and so on. So there's a lot going on there. It's all happening in real time, which is a little panic-inducing at times. It's probably a nicer experience for you guys because you're watching a Let's Play and you get to just see it like the conversation just flow in real time, like there's no interruptions. I never have to think about, there's no pausing for me to like read the options out or whatever and choose a thing. Although that also means not much discussion of the choices because I'm kind of just fucking flying by the seat of my pants and barely am making choices on my end. So it's kind of up there, a bit up in the air. There's also like really weird details, like you can use combat buffs and they will run out over the course of the conversation. As he put it, being high on adrenaline and having the conversation dampen that. And then on the other end, you have like if you're hurt and you need your stamina and whatnot to your endurance to regenerate, you can recover it by having the conversation last as long as possible. And the longer the conversation stalls for time, the more you've recovered by the time the fight really starts. And then there's like a few other ways of subverting conversations where like you can shoot somebody before the conversation even starts, apparently, to just cut it off. And like a stealth attack can completely change things. But on the other side of things, there's an aspect where talking to someone might give you a chance to get close to them. And you might have an advantage because you broke in and attacked them via the conversation instead of having to like, declare combat at great length and then have a normal fight at normal range. So there's a different way of getting a drop on people again. It's interesting. There's a lot going on there. And then we've got dossiers, which right after we find out that dossiers increase the damage you do against the people that are in them, our leader guy says, "Yes, I've read your dossier several times." It's like, that's threatening, knowing that what we know about how they work.
Care to explain how Halbeck lost its missiles?
Old news. An accounting error.
The missiles. You didn't lose them, did you?
Angry, Mr. Thornton? Because of what happened in Saudi Arabia.
I'm getting lots of interference.
I made it to Saudi Arabia, sir. I'm at the safe house.
I guessed that much. See any shadowy agents in trench coats at the airport?
No, sir, I don't think so.
That was a joke, Mike. But stay on your toes anyway. Finding Shaheed is your primary objective. Trouble is, we don't know his location, but we have 3 leads. An arms dealer, Nasri, is believed to have sold the missiles to Shaheed, and he's currently operating in Saudi Arabia. If you can intercept him, maybe he can tell you where Shaheed is, or guide you to the missiles.
Do we have anything else on Nasri?
Nothing more than what's in his dossier. If you can manage to make any contacts and find out more, we'd welcome it. We also tracked down the location of an airfield Shaheed used in the past. If you can sneak in and plant a listening device, we may be able to track flight Shaheed is using to move through Saudi Arabia.
And the third lead?
We've got the coordinates of an Al-Samad detention camp, also used as a stockpile for weapons. We suspect the missiles may be stored there.
Any backup, sir?
Just Darcy on the comm.
Any backup, sir?
Funny, Mike. Darcy's enough. We'll want you to go in alone, recon the area, and shut down their radar and communications. Once that's down, we can call in air support and hit the camp hard.
No pressure.
And no backup. Get used to it. It's the job. You check out your new home yet? It's got some perks you might be interested in.
Full security system?
A computer with a hub connection so fast you'll feel like you're going back in time.
What, to the Stone Age? Please.
You can do dossier research, encrypted emails, and if need be, access some of the weapons dealers in the area. That'll be done on your own dime, however, using whatever funds you can find in Saudi Arabia.
I understand, sir. We wouldn't want Alpha Protocol tied to any weapons trafficking in the Middle East.
Exactly. There's also a weapons locker in the main living area. Open it up, help yourself, but use the ammo and armor you think suits the mission. When you're ready to head out, just use the front door, or access the missions from the main terminal. I'll have already uploaded all the mission specs to your PDA. You can review them at any time.
Alright, so is that it?
But
Westridge. Great. Home sweet home.
that's not nice. So deviating away from B with Westridge is dangerous. Like every time I go into X, it's always a minus reputation immediately. In that case, it just seemed like a reasonable thing. Like what about anything about backup? Because it was just an option. I'm like, why not pick it? But then my guy is a dick about it because it's an X option, and all X options are like that, even if they don't sound like they're gonna be. So I gotta watch out for that shit. They're dangerous. Best friends forever, just hanging out with their guns.
Hey, look. Darcy photoshopped our faces into a still frame of a buddy cop movie. That's yeah.
Is that my face? I guess so. I guess that's me with a big beard. I basically don't know Darcy, so just a weird move on his part. Maybe he has boundary issues and like thinks everyone around him like is super into him with no prompting. So like he thinks Mina's into him and he thinks that we're best friends immediately. SWAT and casual. So this increases my endurance and upgrades slots and inventory space, but reduces my sound dampening. Being poopy. But I don't really have much stealth skill at the moment anyway. Rifle SMG. But I want a shotgun. Why start with shotgun specialty if we're not going to give me a shotgun? This just seems like a dick move. Interesting. There are 5 gadget slots, and there are those spots specifically, no other options. What am I missing here? I guess I should go with the one that's not currently equipped. So we have flashbangs, yep, EMP, yep. Shock trap is not, and so is remote mine. I have a sound generator. First aid kit, EMP, charge, flashbang. I'm not sure how much I'll use a sound generator compared to like a shock trap. Rifle. Ooh. That's where the shotguns are. Yeah, I want a shotgun. Choke. Increased accuracy, reduced recoil. I think in this case, reduced recoil is a negative stat, meaning the recoil gets worse, not smaller. Okay. What's the Hamilton like? 240 shots likely means that it's not especially accurate or slow. So it's not like a... This isn't like a machine gun... a scope. Still, I'm not sure if I should think this is like a sniper rifle. Shotgun and sniper is like my go-to combo in many games.
Agent Darcy sent me this for acing the training course. He misspelled my name. Thornton.
He misspelled my name. He will die to pay for these consequences of his actions.
In Washington today, Senator Patrick Darcy unveiled new legislation aimed at cleaning up the federal government by greatly restricting lobbyists' access to legislators.
The bill, called the People Over Rich Corporations Act, or PORC Act, would prohibit lobbyists from contributing to election campaigns and require anyone affiliated with a corporation to stay 500 feet or more away from any member of the legislative branch.
Opponents of the bill have labeled it a draconian offense against free speech and so laughably unenforceable as to render it a farce. Senator Darcy had no comment for INN News. Should American businesses be compensated if conflict arises in Asia? Legislation being discussed on Capitol Hill would assist with relocation costs for operations based in countries considered hostile to the United States. Detractors in both parties have attacked the bill as a massive bailout for companies that have outsourced American jobs. China and India are the largest destinations for offshore operations, with everything from manufacturing to software development being produced overseas for American businesses. Tensions continue to rise in the Far East as Taiwanese President Ronald Sung's independence rally approaches. The controversial politician has the Chinese government worried that he will formally declare independence, an action that would almost certainly lead to war.
High-level White House sources have told INN News that, should China attempt to forcibly block a Taiwanese move for independence, the U.S. Navy will take, quote, any and all measures to prevent Chinese aggression.
Meanwhile, the president, on a goodwill tour of Africa, issued a statement urging all parties to remain calm and rational, and to let diplomacy prevail.
It's not lost on me. The pork bill. Yeah, piggy. This place is a lot to take in. We've got our own fountain. Like, these are just my quarters. Holy crap. This game has working mirrors. Also, you can still customize yourself. This mirror is like too tall though. Like, so much of the space is completely wasted. That's my height compared to it. Like, most of that height would never, most of the mirror would never be used realistically as a viewing space. Clearinghouse. Oh, that's my black market weapon dealing stuff. Okay. Vented pistol action. Increases recoil control, reduces damage. Pistol sights. Silencer. I mean, that could be very useful for your gun. A silencer would get me back to using a pistol, at least. Where's my shotgun silencer? Huh? Samuel Vengeance. That shows a comparison. Less damage, but a whole lot more of everything else. Samuel Redeemer. Everything else is better, but my damage stays the same. Not a whole lot of shotguns getting stronger than the one I have right now. We actually got sights on this thing to increase its accuracy. That just doesn't sound like the most useful thing for a shotgun to have. These are a ton of upgrades. Increases damage, reduces recoil control. Incendiary shotgun shells. God damn. Bonus to endurance, the interceptor body armor. Tactical body armor. There we go. One more upgrade slot, one more inventory space, 20 more endurance. Costs 47 grand. That's about double what I've got now. Ooh. Improved cooldowns? There are a ton of abilities here. Damage reduction. Reduces enemy sight lines by having camouflage. There are actually legitimately a ton of these. So I can buy certain upgrades along the way. Like this one here. And those upgrades will be interchangeable between my different pieces of gear, which should be good. The silencer could be good, but my pistol skills are so bad that I feel like it's likely that I will miss, which really fucks the entire thing up, really. Let's get these ceramic plates for damage reduction. And there's like a shotgun like damage increaser. Reinforced shotgun components. Recoil gets worse. Reduced accuracy can be rough. There we go. Got a couple of damage bonuses. Look at that thing! I just attached a fucking tank to my gun. That feels like it's probably not great news, actually. How do I know if I want to put it on my chest or my arms? Does it matter? I'm not altogether sure. I can't believe how ridiculous this looks. What have I done? What have I done? We've got some dossiers on people here. These are my objectives. Bug the airfield, investigate the weapon stockpile, intercept Nasiri the arms dealer. Bug Al-Samad airfield. Bug the control power to track Sahid's flight logs. I have the reputation of 3 with Mina Tang. So she's my handler? I thought they were saying that the other guy was my handler. I have a constant encouragement that gives me 5 endurance, alright. Reports indicate Sahid may be using an airfield east of Jizan. Jizan, yeah. Something like that. Infiltrate the airfield, download the flight logs, and get out without being spotted. I have no intel. That's not good. Jizan weapon stockpile. Okay, so here's Darcy. So it's not always the same character. I have a neutral rep with him. Tech bonus, 10% gadget damage. An Al-Samad detection camp on the outskirts of Jizan has had a spike in network activity, suggesting Al-Samad is stockpiling weapons there and possibly the Halbech missiles as well. Infiltrate the camp, search for weapon stockpiles, then find their communications hub and upload any information from their server to our databanks. Oh, you start them from here. From the intel screen. Intercept Nasri arms dealer. So we have a different handler for each of these. I managed to completely net zero with Westridge, apparently. But I get a bit of a cooldown bonus, so that's fine. The stolen missile has been tracked to a black market arms dealer, Omar Mohammed bin Nasri. Has been set up at camp in an abandoned palace outside Dalim, breaking into Nasri's compound and find out everything he knows about the Halbech missiles. So the store has intel for me, apparently. Faction and individuals. Alpha Protocol, 28% to complete dossier. Alpha Protocol is both the name of a government organization and also the term used by agents that classifies them as rogue agents. To outside intelligence agencies, agents that have gone Alpha Protocol are considered acting alone or are traitors, so if their operation is discovered or goes awry, no blame will fall upon the United States. Not many within the government are aware Alpha Protocol exists, and the separation from the majority of the Washington bureaucracy and oversight is intended to protect the United States from accountability for Alpha Protocol's rogue operations. Cool, so the entire organization that I'm working within is highly immoral. That's just going to be the fucking background noise of the entire game. The Alpha Protocol insignia has some interesting symbolism. Based on its description of the records, the ring of stars and arrows represents patriotism and military might. The eagle's talon is strength. The serpent is either its enemies pursued or stealth and subterfuge. And the loose translation of the Latin phrase beneath it is where no one can follow. Al-Samed. Middle East, unknown location, founded in 1989. Organization classified terrorists by the US, Canada, EU, Australia, Israel, and Japan. A terrorist organization that arose in the late 1980s, Al-Samad's operations have spread from the Middle East to cells throughout major European and North American cities. Though small in scale, Al-Samad holds strong to its military and extremist views and has shown itself intent on expansion and recruitment, seeking any means necessary to achieve its goals. Their figurehead and chief financier is Sheikh Ali Shahid, who has claimed responsibility for shooting down a civilian airliner in the Middle East with a prototype missile manufactured by Halbech. Halbech, founded in 1909, defense contractor. Halbech was founded in 1907. Did I say 1909 a second ago? I think I did. I'm a genius. As Stout Construction Services, a minor engineering company. The company was acquired by Robert Halbech in 1927, who turned the company's focus to defense shortly before the Second World War. Halbech's numerous contacts within the War Department netted the company numerous contracts to manufacture airstrips and shipyards, and provided vast funds into research and improving a number of weapons and defensive systems. So I started off constructing defense buildings, specifically. Individuals? Here we go. 20, 40, 50. Ooh. Big damage bonus on him, apparently. 33. We're all over the place here. Yancey Westridge. Age 48. I don't know if I'm an idiot. Great. Chief of Operations. A 20-year veteran of the CIA and a 5-year veteran of Alpha Protocol, Yancey Westridge has worked in both the counterintelligence and counter-terrorism fields, earning a degree in international affairs and serving a tour of duty in the armed forces prior to the CIA service. Although rarely promoted, Westridge has a reputation as an exceptional field agent, expert at reading people, and quick at reacting to situations. He has a low tolerance for smartasses and prefers agents who act instead of talk. Impatience and blunt opinions are what Westridge respects, more so than smooth talkers or by-the-book recruits. So being aggressive actually might be better. He respects impatience. That's a weird line to draw. Alan Parker, 63. senior intelligence analyst. Alan Parker is a genius-level intelligence analyst working for Alpha Protocol. According to his college record, he has degrees in political science, economics, and psychology, although he never did homework in any of his classes and relied on taking the minimum number of tests to achieve a passing grade. Parker also has an uncanny knack for knowing where he would be on the grading curve, and scaled the effort he put into his assignments accordingly. Parker understands global politics, espionage tactics, and economic trends, but doesn't understand or care to understand people he works with. He has commented more than once that he perceives everyone as a tool, and if not a tool, then they are a liability. Distressing, because he's the guy who gets to kill everyone, potentially, if we fail. So that probably is why he has a specific distance from every single person, because he views them as people that are to be used and then discarded, and he is preparing himself for the very possible outcome where he has to discard everyone. It's funny, though, the idea of him being so on top of school and so thoroughly mastered it that, like, he just casually got the exact score he wanted to get and just did the exact amount of work that he needed to do that and just nailed it preemptively. Sheikh al-Shahid, age 45, oil businessman, Saudi. Ali Shahid is an oil sheik with strong ties to political figures in the Middle East and the West. He's incredibly wealthy from both his oil interests and the political favors he's been granted in exchange for access to his oil. Shahid frequently intercedes on behalf of his Western and European friends in the Middle East affairs. Shahid is monitored by Interpol and numerous intelligence agencies and is widely known as the voice of al-Samad, responsible for several anti-American broadcasts over the past several years. Sean Darcy, 26. He is younger than me. Sean Darcy graduated from Camp Perry and has been working with the CIA until the last 2 years. During his career with the CIA, he was remarked as one of the agency's most gifted and technical agents. His proficiency with electronics and surveillance equipment has earned the respect of many of his superiors, but did little to advance his career in hands-on fieldwork. I'm just thinking about the fact that, like, the CIA is just aggressively known for its many immoral acts and coups and all these horrible things they do, and we're in a more secret organization than the CIA that's supposed to be less accountable than the CIA, which is an organization that really doesn't feel like they're ever really accountable to begin with. So quite the fucking call there. Hey, it's Dr. Flashforward. Henry Leyland, age 39, Chief Executive Officer of Halberd Corps. Born in Newport, Rhode Island, Henry Leyland's involvement in the Halbeck Corporation began immediately after he graduated college, when his close friend and mentor, Robert James Halbeck III, hired him as one of the top executives of the company. Leyland's ingenuity and business strategies did not disappoint. From his hiring in 1977, Leyland was able to make wise investments and use his own connections to secure numerous profitable contracts for Halbeck, speedily working his way towards the position of Chief Technology Officer. One of our targets. Kind of alternating here, aren't we? Mina Tang, 27, also younger than me. I'm going to turn to dust tomorrow. Intelligence analyst. Mina Tang is an analyst first, a tactician second, and a field agent third. She's been with Alpha Protocol for about a year, working primarily in encrypting and decrypting information. She assists Alan Parker on intel assignments, but is also called upon to help train new recruits in firearm basics. Her data analysis led to the discovery of several missing advanced prototype missiles from Halbeck's stock, and the evidence she obtained forms the basis for Desert Spear, the mission to track down and deal with Sheikh Ali Shahid. Omar Mohammed bin Nasri, age 33, weapons trafficker. Omar Mohammed bin Nasri is a weapons trafficker based in the Middle East. He has connections throughout Moscow, Eastern Europe, and has been responsible for selling off large Russian weapon stockpiles throughout the world. He has a number of armed guards at his disposal, and he runs a tight operation, where laziness and joking around are punished with bullets, and his attitude is mirrored when his guards' treatment of others who come to make deals with Nasri. So with Nasri and his guards, if I joke around or am dismissive and lazy sounding, then I can, like, make him more aggressive, apparently? Whereas professionalism and so on would be the way, might be the way to get on their side, but I don't know if that's really an option. Well, hope you all have a perfect recall and will not forget a single detail that I just went over, because there will be a test later.